Greetings, sentient beings. This broadcast is not intended for children. There will be strong language and adult themes.
Hello.
So Jenny is already upset about me rambling pointlessly, but isn't that kind of the only thing I do here?
Purple, I was pushing my glasses up my nose on your behalf. Just to clarify for the audience, Purple was commenting about how much she was going to hit the button, but she doesn't know why it's called a button because it's just a flat rectangle on the screen. So, it, yeah, inspired by that moment of pedantry, I was pushing my glasses up my nose in Purple's honor.
Yep.
That's still a button.
Nope. Buttons have to move when you push them.
So,
No.
if button is spelled with two T's, then why do most Americans drop the T's when they pronounce the word?
I don't know. I never did.
Say the word button.
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 You just did.
No. I mean,
Yes, you
it's
did.
more like I changed the O to an I, but I don't drop the T's. Button.
You're pronouncing it as button, not as button.
Well, yeah, not as two T's, just as one T.
Button.
Why does it even have two T's to begin with? What is the point of that extra T? I mean,
See what most Americans do when they get to a T between two vowels is they do what's called a glottal stop. So button as opposed to button.
I find it a little offensive that you're talking about my glottal.
Well, not your glottal specifically. Everybody's glottal.
Yeah, and I
And
I
if
do
you have
like
an
big round asses, but I've never encountered one that was 2,000 pounds. So I have never seen a butt ton.
Uh, uh,
And if
that
you
would
have-
actually require three T's.
and if you have an epiglottal, doesn't that suggest that you may have an endoglottal?
Sammy is judging you.
So epi meaning around. Yeah, endo is usually contrasted with exo. Inside or outside, whereas epi is around.
Sammy is just looking at the screen with a look like, what is this shit?
So that would just mean that the endoglottal is on the inside of the epiglottal.
I had to translate for him.
I see. Translate into Klingon.
No, that's not Klingon. I don't know what language it is, but I speak it fluently. I don't comprehend it, but I speak it fluently.
Well, if you don't comprehend it, how do you know if you're speaking it fluently or poorly?
Nobody's ever told me I was speaking it wrong. I never found anybody who speaks it better than I do. So unless you can point out where there's a flaw in my translation, I'm speaking it fluently. Oh, yeah.
I'd like to hear you and Dapper have a discussion about that.
Yeah, I have never had a direct engagement with Dapper. I've only been in the side chat of his channel.
Yeah.
I helped him get started.
I blackmailed him for $25,000.
Or did you know?
Mm-hmm.
And did that result in a change in his behavior?
No, no. Mm-mm.
I had an idea once for a collab involving Dapper Dinosaur and Doc Dino, and there used to be a guy around called Writer of Dinosaurs, and I just had an idea of us all doing a collab that only dinosaurs were allowed on stream. And I was just going to make a note about the Writer of Dinosaurs that, yeah, his dinosaur said he needs the human interpreter.
Maybe you could find one of those little icon things that you can animate to your movement.
Well, Junie has mentioned about making me a VTuber avatar, but you know, it's a matter of how much time she has to work on it, which has been very little over the past couple of years.
Yeah.
Did you see the short that she posted recently, though?
I haven't.
Okay, she did an avatar of herself, and did a nice little short of her dancing.
Hi, Molly.
Hello,
Hello.
Molly. Sorry. Yeah, my throat's bad today, so I'm feeling very phlegmy, and I think it's affecting my voice.
And like I said, my nose is running, so
Well, you better catch up to it.
I keep trying, but it keeps getting away.
How fast can a nose run? It doesn't have any feet.
Surprisingly fast.
Amazingly fast.
I suppose it would move much like a snail, just leaving the slime trail and sliding down it. No? Nobody sees that?
Yeah, I see it.
Since we eat snails, would snails eat people?
Some snails will. If you stay still long enough, some snails will take a bite out of you.
Yeah, that would be the South American piranha snail. If you fall in the water and don't get out before they get to you, they might suck you with their lips for a while and then might maybe take a bite. They're pretty slow.
Well, I mean, some snails are scavengers, so they'll feed on dead bodies, and if you lie still long enough for them to think you're dead.
Well, now, have you ever eaten a live chicken?
No, can't say I have.
Nope.
I guess then you're a scavenger too.
I've always said that. I'm not a carnivore. I'm not a herbivore. I'm not going to go out and kill anything, but if it's dead when I get there, I'll have it. And fortunately for me, most of the meat that I find in the grocery store is pre-killed.
So if we ever see you in your cemetery with a shovel, we should probably stop you.
Yeah, the only time I've done that was when I was trying to find parts to make a friend.
Hey, Edger, how are ya?
Hi, Enter.
Hi, Andrew.
What's Enter saying? My grandpa used to say, I'm built upside down. My feet smell and my nose runs. Yep, that's a classic. So, it's finally gotten to be winter around here.
Mm-hmm.
It turned back into the spring here.
Yeah,
We got 9.5 inches here.
I don't think we got that much. I don't know what the official count was.
And now it's snowing again today a little bit.
Yeah, I think we got 6 or 7 inches. And we had some flurries last night that maybe amounted to another inch.
And tonight it's supposed to go maybe to 10 below or so.
We haven't, I don't think we've gotten below 0 yet.
You will tonight.
But yeah,
Guaranteed.
our daytime highs have only been in the mid-teens this week. So, yeah, I've had to be wearing long sleeves. If it drops another 10 degrees, I may have to get a jacket out. It's amazing how fast you acclimate to the weather if you've lived in Minnesota for a few years. Or maybe that's a Darwin thing. That maybe either you acclimate to the weather or you move out of the state.
I think it only gets into Darwinian uh, territory when you start talking over multiple generations.
I'm not sure how well I could acclimate. I was born in El Paso, and I've been and lived in Central Florida the rest of my life.
Oh, you are exactly who I'd like to drag up here in February.
Okay. Now,
Come on. Come on, mates. Let's go outside. It's only, let's see, 120 degrees colder than you're used to.
now, see, actually unfinished though. Evolution talks about it being, oh, I had the words a second ago. Allele types in a population. That's what I was looking for.
Yeah.
Okay, so if it's just allele types in a population, it doesn't necessarily take generations. Because if all the people who can't stand the cold move out of the state, then the population of the state is only people who are cold tolerant. So that changed the allele type for surviving in this environment.
I was watching a.
Okay, but the mechanism is not natural selection, though.
Sure it is.
Sure it is. Some people naturally think it's too fucking cold here and get out of here. But I keep telling people to move to Minnesota. And I mean, if you can't take the winter, COVID has taught us that you can go 6 months without ever leaving your home. So you can just be a shut-in all winter and come out when the spring ends.
And of course, my dog Molly wants to play.
Yep.
What am I doing? I'm just sitting here.
My kitties just want to surround me. Of course, part of that might be because I have food.
Of course, if I don't do anything here, I'll have toys mysteriously materialize around me.
This sounds like it could be an SCP phenomena. You better have it investigated.
I'm tired.
Yeah.
Hi, tired.
I'm turning.
I am so sick of this being tired thing. It's been 3 weeks now, and I'm just exhausted all the time.
I was going through that too. I finally got decent sleep last night, so feeling a bit better today.
Yeah, I remember with the pneumonia I had. It took months to start feeling normal.
Yep.
And you're going through even more.
It also helps, pick me up that I've gotten some good compliments lately. I actually had an older guy call me a pretty young woman.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yep. And Sloth Girl had always said she was amazed by my Mad Tetris skills. Like when we moved, she was sure that I'd rented too small of a truck, and she couldn't believe I got both of our apartments into it.
Good job.
So, I'm just mentioning that now because when I was at the grocery store, the cashier lanes have like 2 belts, so they can run another person through while you're packing your groceries. So the guy that was packing his groceries on the other side looked at me and he watched me for a couple of seconds, and he said that I make packing bags an art form.
So, what was the topic that you came up with today?
It's National Roof Over Your Head Day.
Yeah, I got one of those. Good thing.
Yep.
I'm glad. Not everybody has those.
Yeah, well, and especially when the snow and the cold temperatures hit, I do feel concerned about the the homeless people around here. I know there are some, and there's one guy I know who was spending nights in one of the sheds in front of Home Depot. I think they caught him though, and I think he got in trouble for it. But I've been homeless myself. I understand it. You do what you got to do, even if it's technically illegal.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it seems like a good time to share up my Amazon wishlist link for my for the food pantry thing. That's still going.
Yep. Oh, okay, Jenny, that's a loon you've got for your. I was having a little trouble resolving what Jenny's avatar there. It's a loon head. Which is appropriate because the loon is our state bird.
But yeah, I've got stuff here that's all ranges of prices here. $1.77 for some stovetop up stuffing. 86 cents for a can of tomatoes. So $1.22 for bamboo shoots. So, there's a good price range there if anyone wants to donate, and it'll get sent to me, and then I'll bring it over to a local pantry here.
Mm-hmm.
I'll probably be doing that sometime at the end of the week here, if I can get my ass out of bed in time, because they only take donations in the morning.
Yeah. I'm just saying, when I used to bag groceries, if someone would say as few bags as possible, I would say, "Are you sure?" I had a few people upset that I fit all of their stuff into one bag without smashing anything.
Actually, I would be fine with that myself.
Yeah, for me, I have occasionally had the problem of putting so much in one bag that I didn't have a problem carrying it, but the bag couldn't handle it. And it's I keep a bunch of fabric bags around, which I have been reusing most of the same bags for the last 10 years or more.
Yeah, I have fabric bags, but I always seem to forget to bring them with me.
Well, I generally just keep them in the van when they're empty, so that then I've always got them when I go into a store.
Yeah, the baggers around here have a habit of putting like 1 or 2 items per bag.
Yeah, Jerm went on to say, I said, "Well, you said as few bags as possible. This is one bag." And they would say, "Yeah, but I didn't expect that few bags." Yep.
And not that it matters, since this is apparently is about a previous job, but I suppose a possible clarifying question might be, well, do you mean as few bags as absolutely possible, or as few bags as reasonably possible?
Yeah. Well, I absolutely hate the Walmart bags. I mean, not that there aren't plenty of other reasons to hate Walmart, but they don't get the idea of using reasonable bags. They use the cheapest possible bags, and it's like, if you put 2 cans of soup in one of those bags, you'll be lucky if it makes it to your car.
Yeah.
And I don't know why they don't get the concept that if they used a little bit thicker bags, people wouldn't have to double bag everything, and they'd actually use fewer bags.
Yeah, my grocery store has bags that aren't that bad. the best bags I've encountered for sturdiness are the ones you get at the liquor store.
Yeah. As far as the plastic bags, the best ones come from Menards. Because they expect people to be putting some tools and some heavy stuff in them. So those are the ones that I try to grab to use for my garbage bags. Although I can never get enough of those, so the second ones are our grocery store Cashwise here. They're pretty good bags. They rarely leak. Because if I'm going to use them for garbage, I gotta make sure like the cat litter is not going to leak out while I'm carrying it to the garbage.
Yeah.
You know what, Jerry? You could join in here too if you want to. I get my groceries delivered from Amazon and they use too many bags. Yeah. Yeah, I've seen that about
I'm
them
back.
only
I'm
putting
sorry.
one item per bag. Sorry, Jenny,
I'm
what?
sorry. I had a phone call from the doctor I had to take.
Oh, no problem.
You left?
I'm not even going to
No,
answer
she's
that
right.
one. I'll show you.
No, she's not left. She's right.
Yeah.
No, Jenny is definitely not right. There is no way she would vote Republican.
That girl ain't right. I haven't been right since high school. And I was only right then because I was able to fake it pretty well.
I've never been right in my life just because my dad belonged to the Chicago Carpenters Union. And back in the 60s, the Democrats actually supported the unions. So from the day I was born, I was always, taught the Republican Party was the one that was looking out for our interests.
No, they're only interested in kill them all.
Yeah.
Kill them all.
Well, at one time, they were more interested in the working class.
No, they really weren't.
Well, they were because they realized that the economy depended on them.
No, they really weren't. I don't remember any positivity from Republicans towards the general citizenry in my life.
No, not Republicans, Democrats.
Oh, okay. I take that back. Well, I don't take that back because it's still true about Republicans.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, yeah, I don't get why anybody really votes for Republicans unless they're just not paying attention to what happened the last time Republicans were in charge.
Well, they're a bunch of hate-filled bitches. That's why.
Yeah. Yeah, they sell hate and bigotry. That's really the only thing the Republicans do.
Yep.
Yeah, that's true. We do enough union suppressing activities in other countries via our corporations. And yeah, that is one of the many reasons that the U.S. winds up getting involved in the politics of other countries. And
you mean like we're going to go to war with Venezuela so we can steal their oil?
Yep.
That makes me so mad. It is so blatantly obvious what they're up to.
Yeah.
It's nothing to do with goddamn drug dealing.
Well, did you hear that while Trump is on this big anti-drug thing, he pardoned the guy that was the former president of Honduras, who had already been convicted as being the kingpin of a drug smuggling ring.
He's done more than that.
Yeah.
So being a narco terrorist is kind of selectively a bad thing.
Yeah, but to Trump, that's not important. And the guy was serving a 44-year prison term, and Trump pardoned him because he had lots of money.
Let us just review the notable big drug dealers pardoned by Trump in 2025 would be Ross Ulbricht, January 21st, founder of Silk Road, the online marketplace for drugs like cocaine, heroin, generating $200 million in annual sales. Juan Orlando Hernandez, who was you just mentioning, the bad guy down there in Honduras. And then Changpeng Zhao, the Binance CEO involved in money laundering for drug traffickers and other crimes. So he's just picking the best of the best.
And Trump said that they're not sending us their best.
No, they're not. If they were the best, they wouldn't have been caught. I wonder if he's going to release El Chapo. No, probably not. El Chapo doesn't have anything to do with Honduras or Venezuela. So,
well, it is how we got Hawaii as a state. It was actually the Dole Fruit Company that moved in and took over Hawaii, and then petitioned the U.S. to make it a territory.
Oh God! Oh jeez! Oh man! Oh.
What did you do?
So this turkey show is on PBS, like I mentioned, and they're showing all these shots of the turkeys snatching spiders and grasshoppers and moths and anything that they can eat. And so the human grabs a grasshopper and chows it down, and the shot of it was just his mouth and his nose biting on this live grasshopper. It was pretty gross.
Yeah.
Well, at least they hadn't had the horse eat one of the baby turkey. He's following it around.
Yep. I've seen a video of that happening too. It kind of freaked me out the first time I saw a video that had a deer eating a rabbit. And it's like, wait a minute, aren't you supposed to be a salad muncher?
No, rug muncher. Oh dear, I'm sorry. I thought you were calling me dear or something. Never mind.
Yeah, you got a dirty mind.
Just noticed?
That's pretty much why we keep her around here. So we had Spooky and Al Trucker join.
I apologize for my dirty mouth. I spent 40 years hanging out with a bunch of stupid guy mechanics, and that's pretty much all they ever talk about is sex.
Mm-hmm.
So you kind of have to stay on top of them, because you don't want to get under most of them. They've got these big bellies the size of Montana, and never mind.
No,
Cowgirl style.
I get you. I spent most of my life working around construction workers, and the reputation they have for women. They don't necessarily speak of them in the most eloquent terms.
I was just trying to pull up a graph of how many I identify as homosexual over the years, and how it's gone up depending on depending on how people coming out. I haven't been able to find exactly that graph, but I did find one showing being a LGBTQ identity by state, and the state that had the highest percentage was not the one I expected it to be.
Texas.
Nope.
Oh.
New Mexico.
Oh. Well,
have you heard the good news about Texas?
There is no good news about Texas.
No. 6 of their federal representatives have said they will not be seeking re-election. So that is, more open seats in the midterm election than we were expecting.
Yeah, but they've been freshly gerrymandered, so.
No, the court struck that down and told them they had to go back to the map that they had drawn in 2010.
And which court orders have the Republicans been listening to lately? Could you mention those too? Oh, none. Oh,
Figure 5. Support of non-discrimination protections is for LGBTQ people and by party affiliation from 2015 to 2023. Democrats have gone up almost 10 points, while Republicans have gone down on about 3 points. I imagine that's probably changed in the past couple of years too.
What's that for?
Support for non-discrimination protections for LGBTQ people by party affiliation between 2015 to 2023. And they have All Americans, which averages out about up by 5 points.
Spooky says, I can't forgive Jenny's evil mouth. I sense she isn't really sorry. And El Trucker says painters and strippers are fighting each other all day.
Though interesting enough, all three categories here are over 50%. Even the Republican category had it at 59%.
Spooky, I am as sorry as I need to be in this given situation. Always.
I think you're just catching it side stream. I insulted Spooky in a stream yesterday, so he's actually after me, and you're just, accidentally in the way.
El Trucker, you did forget pickleball in your little statement there.
Why is it called pickleball? There is no pickle involved. Not even a cucumber.
I have no idea. As far as I'm concerned, it looks more to me like ping pong without the table.
It's basically tennis with a wiffle ball.
I have heard of naked pickleball, so potentially, depending on who's playing, there could be pickles involved.
Okay, possibility there.
Yeah, if it's like a pickle, you might want to go seek medical help.
I will be right back. I have to take care of something and grab a coffee at the same time.
Like I was saying, I was doing some world building yesterday night, while also trying to get over a damn headache. That was fun. Yeah, do a bunch of running around and then have to come home and have a headache.
I was just thinking of the implications of that, the inhabitants of the world trying to figure out, how this got all screwed up, and it just turned out that, that was the stuff that God did on the day he had a bad headache.
Yeah, there you go. He was just really drunk that day. Maybe really high that day. There you go.
Well, I keep saying that the platypus God created at 5 o'clock, just as the weed from 420 was kicking in.
Dude, let's give this thing 8 legs, a bunch of eyes, and have it have rope come out of its butt.
Yeah, and then he straightens up and he's like, "Oh shit! Yeah, better hide this all in that continent down under where we put all the poisonous things."
Yes, the naked mole rat. Yeah. Take an old man's penis and put teeth on it.
Yeah. Yeah, they're pretty freaky in their own right. They're only popular now because of Kim Possible.
Yeah, I heard there was a surge of popularity of having those things as pets after that show.
Yeah. Well, her sidekick had one, that was like super intelligent and could actually, the guy could actually talk to him, and the naked mole rat could understand things and actually, go things like hit the right button and stuff like that.
Yeah, I remember the show. I didn't watch too much of it, but I did catch episodes here and there.
Yeah, I never saw the last season of it, but I caught most of them. Yeah, Al, we're just questioning what drugs God was on when he made the decisions to plan these things. So, Mommy, I was wondering why you were singing South Pacific today. I remember when, you'd be standing in the grocery store checkout line and there would be Playboy and Penthouse on the magazine rack there.
Did they even put those little slider things to cover it up?
Nope, those came in sometime in the 70s. So, in the early 70s, they didn't have those when I was a little kid.
I remember being able to buy comic books from the grocery store.
Yep.
I miss that. Then again, comic books are too damn expensive nowadays.
Yeah. Well, that was really a big part of why comic books got to be so big and popular.
Yes, I remember. I think some of the first comic books I bought came from 7-Eleven.
Tsunami is writing new smut influenced by the characters from South Pacific. Yeah, I didn't know if like the whole EU was okay with naked boobs. I know the French have never had an issue of it, that women going topless in public has never been a big deal there.
I have heard of a weather reporter who does a striptease while doing the weather. No, she's just sitting there, doing, reading off the weather thing, and while she's doing, she's casually taking off her clothes.
Well, I'm sure that improves the ratings quite a bit.
I wonder how she. I wonder how she describes the weather getting colder. Then how does she tell people? Mage got it.
Yep.
Temps are getting kind of pointy tonight.
Good news for those of you who like perky nipples.
I'm so tired. My nipples won't even get stiff.
Mine still are. And I haven't heard anyone else mention having that side effect.
I have to go outside tomorrow.
Yeah, I had to be outside this morning. Not only was it cold, but there were people out there. But that should be it. I shouldn't have to go outside again today.
Ooh, it's moist in the south. I like moist.
Who was saying it's moist? Oh, okay. Yep.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah, I'm just saying I can't imagine being naked with my family in saunas like they do in Scandinavia. Yeah. Actually, in Finland, it's perfectly normal to have business meetings in saunas, or pretty much to host any kind of social event in the sauna.
Well, they grow up with it, so it's nothing
Yeah.
weird for them.
No, that's what I mean. That's just part of their culture. Yeah, so mommy, so it started about 6 months after I started HRT, and my nipples have not gone down since. So they have been constantly erect for over 3 years now. Which is why I will not get a cordless headset. Because this one, every time I turn my head, the cord brushes my left nipple and gives me a little charge.
And that's a problem. Why?
No, it's not a problem. I'm just saying that's why I won't get a cordless one, because I'll miss that cord.
Oh, okay.
Well, that was more information than I needed.
Yeah. Newsstands are a thing of the past. There used to be a great one in Chicago that, had started out as a literal sidewalk newsstand, but, they had a good sized store. Al Trucker says we have it as appropriate to cover just genitals and female nipples. They don't waste hundreds on bikinis. Or in my case, a banana hammock.
Well, I think technically in most states that a woman only has to cover her areola to qualify as not being naked.
Yeah.
Lee, press on nipples. You didn't think they were real, well, did you? And they even show through armor. That was a joke from the comic book Ninja High School.
Well, I had wanted to go topless for a summer until they changed the gender marker on all of my paperwork. Because according to the government, I was still male, even though I had a C cup. just to make all those right-wing trolls lose their shit. Purple gets a rise from tiny wires. Good to know. Maybe I should get her to put up my Hogswatch lights. I don't know what you mean by Hogswatch lights, but I do that kind of stuff. I could do electrical wiring. Would
I'm
they
back.
push me over what? Kiss a tapak.
I'm back.
Okay.
Commissioner
thought you were
Gordon called.
journey.
You got me there. Commissioner Gordon called. I had to go to the bat room.
Ah,
How many bats you got?
Well, one time I was at the state fair with 3 family members, and I used that line. And while I was gone, it took the 3 of them together to figure out what I meant. And when they told me that, I was like, yeah, all right. I'm proud of that.
why doesn't Batman ever get arrested? If anyone else ran around as a vigilante punching criminals, he'd get arrested.
He's had to avoid getting arrested before. He isn't good with the commissioner.
Yeah, in general, I would chalk that up to plot armor or hero armor.
Mm-hmm.
So I was thinking if Superman was wood carving or something and slashed his hand open, could they sew it back closed, or would the needles bend?
There was a thing in one of the Superman comics that they were trying to give him a vaccine and the needles would not penetrate his skin.
If I remember correctly, they usually have to lace the needle with some kryptonite to be able to puncture him.
Al Trucker says it's because the commissioner's daughter is also a vigilante. Yeah.
Yeah, the commissioner has a tendency to kind of turn his back on Batman. Well, even before his daughter became Batgirl, well, he was kind of looking the other way with Batman.
Yep. And Al Trucker is confirming that, yeah, you have to use kryptonite needles.
Mm-hmm.
But wouldn't that be, like on a regular person, like using needles coated with radioactive waste or something?
Kinda.
I just wonder if the kryptonite needles could give Superman cancer.
Probably not. It's not quite how it works.
You mean it works?
Okay.
Well, his body absorbs solar radiation. That's what gives him his power. Whereas the kryptonite is sort of an anti-version of that. So it's sort of sapping the energy that gives him his powers.
Yep. No, sorry, Jinx. I know of the Discworld books. I have never read them myself. So I know very little of the lore.
All we know is that Harry Potter was given birth by a total nasty, horrible bitch. who should never be mentioned by name.
Yep. Which is unfortunate because, yeah, I did have some positive associations with the books when
I
they
liked the
first came
books.
out.
The last one, and I thought fell flat.
That was one of the things that, yeah, I didn't feel the final book. It kind of felt like it wasn't really related to the rest of the series. But among other things, it's well, I have some memories of them because my daughter was very into them. I think she was 11 when the first book came out, so she was right in the targeted age range. And it was either the fourth or the fifth book. We went to one of the one of the premiere parties for it at Mall of America. So I was standing in line with her at the bookstore in Mall of America at midnight. So some fun memories there. And then also my late fiance was a fan of them, so sometimes I would read to her from one of the Harry Potter books as she fell asleep. But she also said that the last book was kind of, had a lot of what the fuck stuff in it that didn't seem to really be necessary or tie in with the rest of the series.
Some of the way it was written and I don't think really worked all that well.
I heard Harry Potter was secretly a Nazi.
No, I didn't get any impression of that.
No. Although, what was the white-haired kid's name?
Draco Malfoy?
Yeah. Yeah, the Malfoys, definitely had some overtones of, racist things.
Yeah, the whole Voldemort crew was like that.
Yeah. Yeah, like, calling people mudbloods and that you had to be pure blood to be an actual wizard and things like that.
And of course, the whole wizarding community did have some racist undertones to them.
Yeah. Well, and one of the things about the series that really bothered me was that, Hermione started this crusade about freeing the house elves from slavery, and it's like nobody else was even interested in supporting the cause. So everybody was okay with them being slaves.
She was correct, however, she went about it in a very annoying way in the book.
Yeah. Well, she was trying to draw attention to a brand new movement. Okay.
But yeah, that was definitely a plot that could have been worked on better.
Yeah.
Other than just her little pet project. I think that went nowhere.
Yeah. Well, that was one of my disappointments that the final book didn't even mention it. And yeah, people have said about that the house elves seem to be okay with the system, and it's like, yeah, the ones that worked in Hogwarts were okay with it. Some of them that worked for some of the other families didn't really like it, and basically it's like there would be nothing wrong with them continuing the same job they had if they liked it. It just meant that they would be getting paid for it.
Well, that would consider it to be a front, though.
Yeah, but the big difference is that if they were working for somebody that they hated, they could leave.
Hmm.
The way the system was set up, like they would be bound to a family, and no matter how badly they were treated, they had to continue serving that family.
Yeah, it would seem like some kind of legal precedent and for to step in and remove the house elf then,
Mm-hmm.
even if they can't remove themselves, have like some kind of similar like how you'd treat a pet.
Yeah.
You can't go around abusing your pet, even though.
Well, or even like, the child welfare services that,
Yeah, that's a good
yeah,
example. Yeah.
if you're beating your kid, the state can send somebody in to take the kid and put them in foster care until you get things straightened out.
Yeah, so if you're abusing your house elf, so the state can come in and take away your house elf.
Mm-hmm.
That would definitely make sense as a plot at that point.
Yeah, they could take the house elf to a safe house and, depending on how serious it was, possibly sentence the people to jail.
Take the house elf away, reassign the house elf, seeing as that probably what they would want.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. That would solve the problem right there.
Yeah, well, yeah, like you say, just reassign them somewhere they want. And it's like, that could take care of the wizarding schools. That, yeah, any of the house elves that you had to pull off a bad situation, they could go and work at one of the schools.
Yeah, that offered a good in-story explanation for where the house elves of the school came from.
Mm-hmm. Al Trucker says, for better or for worse, I'm a Tolkien fan. Yeah.
I would say he was a better writer. By far.
Excuse me. Yeah, well, Tolkien definitely took world building to another level that really no one had done, that intricately before. And he did a good job of it because, he studied different cultures, to get an idea for how the different races would be and, how they would interact with each other.
So, would it be accurate to say that, in a sense, the Harry Potter series was sort of, yeah, Tolkien fanfic?
Not really.
No.
Okay.
Um, I know there are accusations that she plagiarized a lot of it, but I don't know, what they're saying she took it from.
Because I have heard that, like, Twilight was Harry Potter fanfic and 50 Shades of Grey was Twilight fanfic.
Mm. Al Trucker's asking about the Wizards of Waverly Place. They never attempt to set it straight. I'm not sure what you're referring to. I only caught a couple episodes of that show, so I don't know what issues they had that they needed to set straight.
See, from what I got here is she was accused of plagiarizing the adventures of Willie the Wizard.
Okay.
By Adrian Jacobs.
I think Al Trucker is right that a fantasy book would definitely be if all the characters are coming together. That would be so hard to time.
Ah, ah.
Sounds
Yeah.
more like a porno.
Well, they'd have to be pretty good at edging so that they could hold it just at that point while they waited for everyone to catch up. Wait the pep.
Oh,
Yeah, well, the Wizards of Waverly Place, I suppose, could have kind of fit into the Harry Potter universe, but it was a family who decided to homeschool them. Yeah, I had heard about that too, that there was a court case about who had first used the word muggles. That was a term that she had pulled from somebody else.
Have you ever seen the later version that was on Netflix?
Of the Harry Potter stuff? No.
No, of Sabrina.
oh, where she's an adult?
No, well, she wasn't quite adult, but
Yeah, she was still living with her aunt. I saw some of that.
I saw some of it too. It looked pretty decent.
Yeah.
And they were all Satan worshippers. And
I remember when Sabrina was born.
oh yeah, the girl, the one who played Sabrina and became a Bible thumper. And was in one of those God's Not Dead movies.
I didn't realize that.
No, I was referring to the TV show Bewitched, which is where Sabrina the Teenage Witch came from.
I could see that it probably was, yeah, taken off from that. But Elizabeth Montgomery was really good with the magic. It's like not one person in the world even noticed when she replaced her husband.
Oh, I noticed.
Yeah,
I
but
was-
I mean,
I was glad. I thought that the original Darren was a jerk.
I meant the in-universe thing. That apparently even his boss didn't realize it was a different guy showing up for work.
Yeah, the Sabrina Teenage Witch came from Archie Comics.
Yep.
And what I was thinking of from the Netflix series is Chilling Adventures of Sabrina from 2018 to 2020.
No, actually, I didn't see that one. There was an earlier TV version, though.
Yeah, there was. That was the one with Melissa Joan Hart playing Sabrina. There might have been one other one somewhere in there too, or maybe it was just thinking about the cartoon. Yeah, I must be thinking about the cartoon.
So Al Tucker had a crush on Sabrina when he was a teenager. With Chaos? I'm not sure how Chaos got into this. Chaos was the evil agency that Maxwell Smart was fighting against.
Just missed it by that much.
Like, I'd get smart.
Yeah, I used to watch that a lot.
I remember how missed it by this much became the national catchphrase for, oh God, it had to be at least 10 years.
Yep. Yeah, that's when I was in grade school. Everybody was using that.
The fucking puppet cat, it was creepy. He looked like he was run over by a car.
You know, I often have that problem with Ethan. The way he often sleeps, he looks like he'd been hit by a car. Do you ever get scared about that with your pets, that they're sleeping so soundly that you're afraid they might be dead? And
Yeah,
you
I've
don't
had
want to
that a few
disturb
times.
them if they're asleep, but
No.
Well, when I think they might be dead, I will disturb them gently.
Generally, pets don't just die. They usually are sick and then die.
yeah. Well, sometimes I have to get close enough to, make sure I can see, see their chest move that they're breathing.
I saw a lovely little news report today. They're now coming out with basically an Ozempic type drug for cats and dogs. So you could go spend $1,000 a month on your cat losing weight instead of just feeding it less.
Yeah, did you hear Trump did a little rant on, how he had worked with the drug companies to make Ozempic cheaper? But he didn't want to keep saying Ozempic, so he said it's the fat drug.
Yeah, he's a pretty rude motherfucker.
I still gotta take the transcripts of what he says and put them into a text to speech AI where it's a little kid saying it.
Hey, native. Excuse me.
You guys, I'm going to go away. I'm just exhausted and I want to tired.
Yep, you should get all the rest you can.
Yeah, I'll check to see if you guys are still around. I apologize, chat. I'm just not.
It's all right. It's all right. You're recovering there.
Yep.
I was talking with the doctor earlier, and I tried to describe it. I think I found the correct description for what's going on with me. As since his last hospitalization, it's like somebody flipped a switch in me, and I actually became an elderly person. Before this, I was never an excited person wanting to run a mile or some crap like that. But at least, let's get up and go do something. And no, I don't even want to do that. I'm just fucking old. I just don't want to.
It really sucks that would have hit you suddenly like that.
It's kind of disappointing.
You don't even have a lawn to tell little kids to get off of.
Well, yeah, and it's winter, Of course, I suppose I could yell at the kid who shovels the walk, tell him put some salt on there, you jackass.
You can practice on me.
Walk on there. Oh, who came in here?
Me.
Oh, hi.
It's me. It's Umami.
Oh, you changed your name and your face.
I'm standing the original Darren.
Yeah, it took me a moment. That's why I was looking at, in the background, and it's like since it was a male face, I was trying to figure out who that was at first.
Sumami, did you ever see the episode of Twilight Zone with Dick York?
I'm sure I probably did, but I don't remember.
It was the one where he bought a newspaper and he flipped his quarter into the guy's change box and it stood on its edge, and for the rest of the day he could hear people's thoughts.
I actually don't remember that one. There's a lot of episodes though.
But if you're hearing everybody's random thoughts all at once, that would be damn annoying.
See
Yeah, that can get
and
annoying.
now you are unraveling the plot. All right.
Yeah, you'd have to have some way that you could, zone it in on one particular person.
Okay, kids, that's it. It's nap time. See
Take
y'all
care,
later.
Twinkle Toes.
See you later.
And,
Take care, Jenny.
everybody make Unfinished give you a book report on the project.
Yep.
All right, I'll be listening. See you guys.
Okay, good night.
Take care, Jenny.
Okay, El Trucker, why do you have to take your daughter to a horse barn as soon as she gets home? I mean, don't you have a bedroom for her?
Just an unsolicited dick pic.
Yep.
Could have put Dick Sargent up there and have the other Darren.
Could have put Richard Nixon up there. That's a dick pic nobody wants. Although, something I remember, little knickknack I saw in the store after Watergate was, the three monkeys, the see no evil, hear no evil, speak no evil. And somebody had made one of those with 3 Nixons. So it said, see no evil, hear no evil, and the one on the ends got his hands like a megaphone saying, well, 2 out of 3 ain't bad.
Or you can always do the MAGA version and hear no facts, X see no fact, X spout a bunch of bullshit.
Yep. The factually impaired. Yeah, a few of them are finally waking up and realizing that Trump hasn't lived up to his promise of making grocery prices cheaper. It's always so cute when kitties are sleeping and they have one paw up to cover their eyes. Hey, I'm with you. I sleep a lot better if I've got an eye mask on so that I'm not aware of when it becomes daylight.
Mhm.
My calico would sometimes sleep in a sitting position.
Well, that's meditation.
Oh, bye, Al.
Later.
Anyway, Al, if you ever want to join in on the stream, you're welcome to. Just let me know and I'll drop you a link. That's pretty much, anyone here that's a regular that I recognize is always welcome to join in if they want to. Oh, okay, well, unfinished. Jenny was saying that you need to give us an update on your project.
Okay, so So there's 8 parts that I'm waiting on people to send back to me. And I've received 2 of them so far, and I got a rough draft of a third, and I asked that person to change it a little bit and send it back, and that'll be give them a deadline of like this coming Sunday, and uh, and Jenny had mentioned a while back, since this whole thing is being done to honor Shannon and Jocelyn's bravery, and in her leading the group that hung the flag on El Capitan in the first place, that touch base with her and get her permission to use her story and her likeness and all that. And I had tried searching for her, like Google search and searching on Facebook or Blue Sky, and the only stuff I was turning up were news stories about about that event, and um, I started up a new Instagram account recently. I had tried setting up Instagram a while back, but promoting videos with links like I do, Instagram doesn't like that. Instagram considers that to be spam. So my original Instagram, is no good anymore. And apparently, if I try to set up a new one and connect it to the phone that I use for channel stuff, yeah, automatically it kicks it off. So I started up a new Instagram and put it on my real life me phone, and one of the one of the first recommended persons that came up was Patty Gonia, who was at that event, by the way. She and Jocelyn are friends. Um, so I was like, well, I'll send a DM to Patty, saying, hey, if you talk to Jocelyn, this is what I'm doing, and let her know about it. And I didn't hear back from Patty, but I did find SJ on Instagram, and I direct messaged her, and that was probably about a week ago. And then last night she responded and said, "Oh wow, that's a great idea. I'm honored to uh, honored to be a part of that." And and she offered to email me video footage of the flag unfurling. Like, that's sweet.
Excellent. Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm really happy I was able to connect with her, and
Mm-hmm.
and and know that it has her personal blessing, not just something being done about her.
Yeah, and that you'll have the footage taken by one of her friends. Will be
Yeah.
a extra nice touch for it.
Yeah.
What? You don't like watermelon? We've tried that.
I like watermelon just fine.
Sammy generally does not like people food. Aside from cheddar cheese, he'll go nuts over cheddar cheese and bread. Other than that, generally any people food, he needs to sniff it to check what I'm eating, but then he won't eat it.
Why do you always eat yucky stuff? Why don't you eat good stuff that I like?
Molly's kind of the opposite. She likes just about everything.
Yeah. Well, Ethan won't even eat tuna.
Oh, that's surprising.
Yeah, he's just real suspicious of it. Because it's us trying to give them that for a treat, give them each a bit of tuna, and it's like Sammy loves it. Ethan doesn't eat it.
I always give my cats the water from the cans since I did nothing with it.
Yeah, I've always done that too. Petunia was a real treat for. And it's like, yeah, a lot of times I can get petunia, I can get tuna cheaper than I can get the wet cat food. And at least with a can of tuna, I pretty much know what's in it, more or less.
My kitty cat's like mackerel.
What was that?
My cat's like mackerel.
Yeah. Well, see, that's the thing with tuna is there are 17 different species of fish that they can put in that can by FDA regulations and still call it tuna. So you could have any mix of those 17 fish. And that's why they can sell cans of tuna relatively cheap, even though, an actual like bluefin tuna, is some fairly pricey meat to buy that fresh and separate. Yeah, no, Sammy Sam wasn't interested in the cantaloupe either.
Oh, my sunkinder, my parrot, that's one of his favorites, is cantaloupe.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, cats don't have a natural thirst drive, and they will tend to get slightly dehydrated, which in the long term can cause them like kidney problems. So that was one of the points of giving them the tuna is I'm trying to encourage them both to, have more water and such, more liquids. Especially Sammy, I can't be certain of his exact age because he was a shelter rescue, but I know he's a teenager by now. I think he's about 15. Well, from what the shelter told me, I think he turned 15 last month. Although they didn't really give me a birth date for him. They just, they said that he was 6 years old at the time and didn't have a birth date. And I don't know where I got the idea from, but somehow I think his birthday was in November.
Yeah, I'm so surprised. Molly's birthday is on the same month and year my cockatiel died.
That doesn't sound like a fun way to remember it.
No, it's just weird. It's like later in, it's like almost a reincarnation kind of thing.
Yeah. Actually, I'm being very careful now. I've got a turkey carcass to make soup out of, and I was looking online about what herbs are okay for cats and which ones could be a problem for them. Because the first stage of making soup of Gloucester is just boiling the bones and making broth. So I want to make a broth that is good to give the cats and hopefully encourages them to drink a lot more that way. And then I can add some more seasonings afterward, but
yeah, I made a bunch of turkey stock to use with the stuffing. I stuck in my crock pot for about 8 hours and added a little bit of it was rosemary, sage, and a bay leaf. So really all I added.
Yeah. People thought it was a little strange that, and everybody was picking leftovers and everybody felt that the turkey had been completely picked clean, that there was no meat worthwhile on it. They thought it was a little strange that I still wanted to bag up the bones. So I got the turkey carcass and I got a big ham bone. So we'll make up some good soup stock from those.
Yeah, it sounds like it'd be good soup stock.
Yep. Well, the ham bones, one of the few positive connections I have with my father was his pea soup. And that's a vital ingredient for the pea soup. You have to start with a good ham bone. And just simmer it for a good long time. And I like to do the soups in the crock pot too. Like put the bones in there and let them simmer for about 8 hours in the crock pot. And then take the bones and all the inedible stuff, the bones and the gristle out, to have the soup stock, then to start adding the other stuff to it from there.
Yeah, I strained it through just a strainer. It was little metal bowl strainers.
Okay, so Mommy, would that be Donald? The male duck?
No. No, this fucking evil ass male duck that fucking assaults this little old lady duck that lives outside.
Ah.
She's very old and this fucking bastard fucking chases her down all the fucking time. So my neighbor and I run him off periodically. He's a dick.
I hear ducks are into necrophilia.
Yeah, I'm not so sure whether they're specifically into necrophilia or
they don't mind it.
Whether or not the female they're mounting is alive or not is kind of inconsequential to them.
Oh, it's not always a female. I actually just read in depth into this. I read the fucking the account of the zookeeper that caught the male duck. Assaulting a dead male duck, another dead male duck. It had flown into the fucking wall in accident and died. And the other duck just went over and.
Okay.
So basically, they'll do anything they can mount.
Yeah, the male ducks are fucking scary motherfuckers.
Anything that doesn't move fast enough to get away.
So which rapey critter is worse, dolphins or ducks?
From what I've been hearing, I would think it's going to be the ducks.
Yeah.
Also, at least the dolphins, you're not getting a corkscrew up your butt.
So is this the next King of the Hill little episode? Oh yeah, had his encounter with dolphins, and he gets his encounter with ducks.
I don't know, but we could write a new horror movie where somebody crossbreeds ducks with Canadian geese.
Do Canadian geese have like barbed dicks or something?
No, Canadian geese are just They just have bad tempers. They're just ornery creatures. See, this is why Canadians are such polite people. Because when there's a full moon, they gather together and they channel all of their negative emotions into the geese and then send them south over the border so we have to deal with them.
They come down here?
Yeah, I'm not sure. I forget what state you're in, but yeah, especially the upper Midwest, they're around all the lakes up here. You know, especially in the winter that, they do migrate south from Canada. And at this point, most of them have even gone further south from here, but, in the fall, they hang around here for several months. And there's still some of them around here, any place that there's moving water so that it doesn't freeze over. Any of the lakes that have an aerator or something like that keeps the ice from freezing over, they'll stick around all winter there. As long as they've got open water.
Ew, a wine bottle opener with a duck on the top, so it's like the duck's corkscrew dick. Ew.
Oh,
Yeah. Well, that just falls under the category of somebody had to do it.
You can picture that, can't you?
Oh, no problem at all. That's like I say, it's an image that I had before I heard about it, and I just figured it was inevitable that somebody had to have made it.
Let's see if I can find a picture.
Of the actual thing? Or the bottle opener?
Oh, I see. Yeah, it was. Andre was in the side chat talking about it.
There they are.
Yeah. So you have an anatomically correct corkscrew. Andre's offering to buy you one.
I almost never drink wine, though.
Yeah, I've been having trouble finding a wine I like. Also, they've done several studies that prove that most wine connoisseurs are bullshit. That if they pour cheap wine into the expensive bottles, they will still talk about it having marvelous legs and an aroma and such.
Yeah.
And if they pour the expensive wine into the bottles from the cheap wine, that they'll just say how pedestrian and plain it is.
Yeah.
I prefer whiskeys and rums.
Yep.
Me, I just like a good cider.
I would love a good hard cider, but I can't find one anymore.
Yeah.
Just flaccid ciders?
Well, I suppose it's flaccid when it loses the carbonation.
Like, Angry Orchard you can still find anywhere, but yeah, there were a few years ago when, ciders were kind of a big fad, and there were a lot of different brands, and a lot of those brands were from major corporations. Like I think Coors made the Smith and Forge brand.
Mm-hmm.
And when the popularity died out, Coors didn't see any point in making that product anymore, so it just disappeared.
Yeah, well, there were two brands that I liked. One was Woodpecker, and one was Hornsby.
Yeah.
And yeah, I even asked the manager at the local liquor store here, and he said, he didn't recognize those brands, but he'd look. And I asked him again about a month later, and he said, yeah, they stopped making both of those about 10 years ago.
Oh.
That sucks.
And I can't have the Angry Orchard because that's made with cane sugar, so that gives me migraines.
Okay.
Yeah, seems to be the case. Everything in good is discontinued. My
Yep.
favorite rum got discontinued.
Yeah.
What brand was that?
The Kraken, it was a Kraken Black Label.
Oh, yeah.
It was basically just like the regular Kraken rum that they have, but it had less alcohol content. It was much smoother. But I got myself recently got these Kraken Navy Limited Edition, which is actually pretty smooth for considering it's 94 proof.
Yeah. Jenny says a hybrid of a Canadian goose and a mallard duck is called the fuck.
So Purple is Loon Juice available up in St. Cloud?
Is what?
Loon Juice.
Not that I'm aware of.
Okay. Yeah, it's that's a brand of ciders that's based in the Twin Cities.
Oh. Okay. Well.
Yeah, so something to keep an eye out for.
Well, like I say, I've talked to the manager at the liquor store here, so I can ask if he could get that for me.
Okay. Yeah.
If I know a specific brand, I can ask him about it.
Yep. Loon Juice. I'll text you like a picture of a case or something when I get a chance, so you have something to show them.
Okay. Do they get it by pressing loons?
Loon juice. Right after we were talking about duck penises.
Did you say wound juice? Wound
Loon.
juice?
No,
loon juice.
Loon with an L.
Bird juice?
Yeah, right after we were talking about duck penises.
LOON. So
yeah,
it's named after the Minnesota state bird.
Yeah, so it's loon juice. I assume that it's yellow.
So.
You don't want to know where the lemonade's made.
But yeah, they have like a apple cider, a couple different apple ciders. They have a pear cider. The pear cider is called Grow a Pear. So they like marketing puns.
Yeah. There is one brand that I used to get when I was living in Michigan. It is Cider Brothers or Cider Boys, something like that.
Yeah, Cider Boys.
Yeah, and I have seen that one around here occasionally. And that one's okay. It's not great, but it's an okay cider. And they have a couple of interesting flavors with that. They have a pineapple one that I rather liked.
Yeah, I do not consume alcohol, so I don't know what the hell's going on with that stuff.
I do, and I like to get a bit of a buzz some nights.
I'll have a glass
Part
in
of
the
it
weekend.
for me is that, with my form of autism, it's actually a relief to get something that slows down my brain enough that I can be having only one thought at a time.
No, that's why I smoke pot. Well, I mean, because of OCD, I'm not autistic.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Yeah, see, pot doesn't seem to really affect me. I've only been able to get high twice in my life.
Yeah, I've never had pot, and growing up, I never saw the appeal in getting drunk. And having had the experience as an adult, I still don't see the appeal in it.
I usually drink more for the taste rather than to get drunk.
But it tastes like shit.
The ones I drink don't taste like shit.
Oh, they do.
Tell them more do honey, the Kraken rum.
Yeah. Well, with the whiskey, I always mix it with ginger ale, so, that kind of, the harsh taste doesn't come through very much with a sweet mixer like that. Actually, the best thing is mixing the whiskey with ginger ale and then squeezing a fresh lemon or lime into it to give it a citrus flavor.
Yeah, I drink tea and juice. Tea and fruit juice only.
Yeah, my main thing is drinking iced tea. That's what I drink most of the time. That I tend to go through, at 3-4 bottles a day of iced tea.
I was exploring fancy schmancy collector tea last night.
Ah.
I wanna find a Tibetan tea that's from the 1920s. I'm gonna drink that shit.
For the iced tea, I make my home blend. I brew it hot and then chill it, but I do a blend of peppermint and chamomile and black teas.
One of my favorites is hibiscus tea.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
It's really good for your throat if you have a cold, sore
Yep.
throat. Found that out by accident.
There are some teas that I use medicinally. Ginger is good for muscle cramps in general. And I have introduced, all of the women that I've lived with to it, and they all swear about it being great for relieving menstrual cramps.
I've heard similar things for turmeric.
Yeah. I've never tried
okay.
turmeric.
Indian motherfuckers will tell you fucking turmeric will cure every goddamn thing from fucking cancer to
that's true.
motherfucking hyperpigmentation to fucking anything. It doesn't do shit.
Yeah.
I'm not sure if it doesn't do shit, but it doesn't live up to a lot of the hype. I know that much.
I know I had seen claims about it curing cancer because, of course, when Slothgirl was fighting that, we were investigating any other possibilities. But, didn't really find anything aside from woo. So, it's like some herbal remedies are useful for certain specific things. But if you find one that's claiming that it's going to, cure everything or cure, more than half a dozen things, and then you got to be skeptical of it.
Yeah, in most cases, that's not really the case.
Yeah.
I have found a few things that live up mostly to the hype that they get, but it's very rare. Yeah, turmeric tastes good. You would have liked my potatoes I made. I added a little bit of turmeric to them for Thanksgiving. Had turmeric, some garlic, some onion, and moringa.
Yeah, well, that's also like me adding the peppermint to my tea. I mean, it does improve the flavor quite a bit, but also that peppermint is good for minor stomach upsets, and I find if I'm drinking it regularly, then I don't get gassy.
Interesting enough, one of the things I find helps with stomach upset is root beer. I just take small sips. So
I think ginger root beer and what did Purple just say?
Peppermint.
Peppermint. Yeah, they're all used for digestive aids.
Yeah, in fact, that's how they originally were marketed.
Yep.
X'd out on Spooky's claim.
Yeah, okay, so I'm going to have to get some turmeric. And Spooky, if it doesn't regenerate my fingers, I'm going to be calling you out on that. If you can do a whole leg, I should be able to do the ends of 3 fingers.
Can I grow my butt back with turmeric?
Have you danced your butt off again?
More like the reverse. I stopped dancing, now I got no butt.
Ah.
Ran away.
I apparently have a good one, because even before I was starting to transition, I would get men coming up behind me and asking, "Can I help you, ma'am?" And had occasionally even overheard, comments of guys mentioning to their buddies of, check out the ass on that one.
Not really. It's actually can have actually a little bit of heat to it, but once you cook it, you don't really get any flavor.
What is moringa?
It's a tree,
Okay.
and it actually has it's actually pretty rich in vitamins. I have some growing in my backyard.
Yeah.
Or it's part of my garden.
But does it taste like doo-doo?
No. Well, raw, it can have a harsh taste to it raw, but like I said, once you cook it, it doesn't really taste like anything. The only time I really have had that sweet was with the young bark pieces. If you kind of scrape off the outside part and kind of chew on it, it will have it'll taste like a mild sugar cane.
Mm. Well, and this is where some of the actual medicines we take come from. That aspirin is just them refining the chemical that people were getting by boiling birch bark in tea. So they found out that the birch bark tea was working, so then they, figured out how to just refine the active ingredient in the aspirin.
Birch soda is good.
Aspirin soda?
Well, it doesn't taste like aspirin. I imagine some people might think it tastes like aspirin, depending on how your tastes are. But
yeah, I picked up a package of salad mix. Oh, hello, Porpoise.
Hi, Porpoise.
I picked up a package of salad mix when I was at the grocery store, and I didn't realize until I was putting it in the fridge that it contains cilantro.
All right.
So I'm probably not going to like that.
Hello, everyone. I am the Sinister Porpoise. When you think of Sinister Porpoises, think of the Sinister Porpoise.
How do we know
I
that
always
Athena
do.
hasn't actually taken over and isn't using an AI version of Porpoise's voice?
Because I think Athena would demand more treats.
Well, if you program your computer to respond to voice commands, that could happen. Now, see, I don't have my computer or anything set up to respond to voice commands. So I'm safe because the cat's paws are too big for them to type on the keyboard.
But does the computer speak cat?
Yes.
Spooky says Athena wouldn't stoop so low. No. Cats will keep us around because they realize that without us, they would have to scoop their own litter boxes, and they're not going to do that. I've been thinking of trying the cats out with some of the wood pellets for litter. But it kind of needs a whole setup. You need a slightly different kind of cat box that like holds the pellets on a grid so that the urine goes through to a pad underneath. But I've been hearing about from some people, and if it works price-wise, it'd be a hell of a lot cheaper than buying the regular litter.
Hey, our kitties love us. I think we give them too much credit for being evil because we are.
Yeah. No.
Oh, baby cake is most certainly evil. Oh, she's evil.
No, I know my kitties worry about me. And, it was really proven when I was living in New York and I fell off the roof. I fell off a roof I was working on onto the asphalt parking lot and got my shins right across one of the concrete parking stops.
Ouch.
Yeah, so I could barely walk for a while. And my kitty Guapo was concerned I wouldn't be able to feed myself. So he brought me 11 mice in the first 2 days.
Let's see here. They have the world's best cat litter, which is made with corn.
Mm-hmm.
That's the name brand, by the way, world's best.
Yeah. Unfortunately, a lot of the pellet litters they advertise pine pellets, but the dust from the pine is not good for cats' respiratory systems. But I've been reading and found a number of things of people, that were using just the hardwood pellets that they use, for heating for stoves. It's like I can pick up a 40-pound bag of those for like $5. As opposed to a 40-pound box of cat litter costs close to $20. So I'm gonna have to try it. I'm gonna have to set up one cat box with the wood pellets, and leave one of them as it is, and see how they'll feel about using the wood pellets.
Wait. There's a question in chat you just have to answer. How many mice did you end up eating?
Yeah, no, I did not actually eat any of the mice.
Yeah, you might have missed out on a real life experience there, Perch.
Well, there was that one guy who was studying the wolves and did that test himself to see if a large mammal could survive on eating just mice. So, according to the book anyway, he ate nothing but mice for about a month.
Yeah. And the answer? The result?
Well, he lived to write the book, so apparently a human could survive on eating just mice.
Interesting enough, mice being the natural prey for your typical little cat. They don't like mice flavored your cat food.
Yeah, I always kind of wondered why we didn't have mouse flavored cat food, and I thought it was more that the people buying it would have a negative reaction to it.
No, it's because the cats just don't like the flavor.
I didn't know they had tested it.
Apparently they did.
Well,
See, look at this image of baby cake. The proof how ominous she is.
okay. Let me enlarge the image.
Imposing.
Oh, yeah, that is a real Halloween cat.
How can you tell when your cat wants to kill you?
They're breathing. Like I say, they keep us around so that they don't have to do any of the messy jobs. But there are some cats who will watch you opening a can of food and you just know they're thinking, if I ever figure out how that thing works, I don't need you.
Molly became friends with the neighborhood cat.
That's good. I'm glad she's not speciesist. Ethan has been here being my headrest the whole time.
Nice.
Yeah, he likes to lay up there on the back of the chair, and when I've got my hands free, then I just reach my hand over my head and give him pets. I'm glad that my shoulders will still do that. But despite all the worksite injuries I endured over the years, I'm still doing pretty good for my age. I still have all my original parts. And I'm the only member of my family who was able to say that past the age of 50. Everybody else had an artificial knee or shoulder, or had a metal pin holding something together.
Let's say we reach a point where we have to get the technology where we can replace every single part of ourselves. And once every single part of ourselves is replaced, are we still the same person?
Yeah,
the Theseus argument.
Yep.
Or in this case, the person of Theseus.
I would argue yes.
I would think that if they could, copy all of the brain patterns and memories exactly, that yes, you would still be the same person.
Oh, so we're talking about brain getting replaced with it too, not just like the rest of your body.
Well, cells of your brain do get replaced over time too.
Yeah, well, I mean that would be the ultimate extent of it. But I mean, even if they were if they were surgically removing your brain and putting it into a robot body.
But what if it was done by Dr. Frankenstein?
Well, you would still be the same person, in the few seconds after your brain is put in there. But as soon as you start having experiences with the new body, then that would be also changing your brain as you got used to the new body.
Questions that matter not at all.
That's interesting thought experiments.
If you're put together by Dr. Frankenstein.
I was not put together by Dr. Frankenstein, but I was partially taken apart by Dr. Frankenstein. When I was a child and our regular dentist went on vacation, the substitute dentist we got was Dr. Frankenstein.
Oh, it's gotta be a terrible name for a doctor.
Yeah.
So what's this Dr. Frank doing in Stein to begin with?
Well, it was a heavily Jewish community. There were everything Steins there.
Frankenstein.
Wasn't Frankenstein Swiss in the novel, though?
Yep.
All
Well,
right,
it's
Athena.
I think it's a German. I think it's a German naming convention, so it
Well-
kind of tracks both ways.
Did you see the Did you see the Netflix movie that came out recently?
I saw parts of it. I need to sit down and actually watch it in full.
If my fucking last name was Frankenstein, I would purposely strive to become a doctor just so that I can fucking get those, just so that I can get the business cards, Dr. Frankenstein. Tell everybody I'm Dr. Frankenstein.
Well, my my allergist was named Dr. Bloom.
Dr. Frankenstein.
Oh.
That's Dr. Frankenstein.
Well,
Yeah.
you know that when I was growing up, that was one of the jokes about where I lived. That why was Skokie the garden capital of the world? Because there's a Rosenbloom on every corner.
Athena, you know what the rules are. If you're going to be on my desk, you have to be on camera.
Okay, yes, Spooky. I don't have the original parts because I'm missing the fingers, but what I meant more was that I haven't had any artificial things implanted in me. Mind you, I wouldn't mind having those fingers back, but actually, apart from, having a little trouble gripping larger objects with that hand, it hasn't really hindered me much. I've adapted to it very well.
Please tell me you had an assistant named Pinky. Please.
Yep.
Ever heard of Dr. Basic?
Except,
Yeah, I didn't quite know how to react when we had the Friendsgiving with the people from my support group and just a bunch of other people from the queer center there. And one of the other transgender women introducing herself, it turned out that what she picked for her name is the feminine version of my dead name. And that just kind of froze me for a moment. I mean, I wasn't sure how to react to that.
it probably wasn't intentional. I mean,
Well, no, I'm sure it wasn't. She didn't know me before that. Although it is a weird thing that I now know 5 trans women who have the same dead name that I had.
Huh.
And it's not like it was that common of a name.
yeah.
It's not like it was John or Joe. So, just kind of weird.
Hi, Athena.
The
The vet still has you on a diet.
And Molly farted. Just come over here and
Wait a
fart.
minute,
So it's been.
I don't know if I really need to ask this question, but how did Jenny get on dildos?
I don't want to know.
This is Jenny.
Yeah. Well, that's why I said I don't know if I really need to ask the question. That's just kind of her default setting, I think. But I
Well,
was
she is-
just wondering, what that comment is related to here.
I mean, she is a photographer. Maybe she's taking those type of pictures.
Maybe it's because she was a photographer back in the 70s, and that's where she held her battery pack. Because the automatic flash for the cameras back then, was a good sized pack of batteries. I actually ran across a vintage Polaroid camera in the thrift store last month.
I think it's funny why they made a comeback.
Oh,
People have started doing like the Polaroid style cameras, including bringing the Polaroid name back, so they can take naughty pictures.
Yeah, well, that's how they got popular in the first place.
Hmm.
Was that you could take naughty pictures and you didn't have to worry about where you were going to get them developed.
In this case,
Because there were a lot of places that if they were developing them and they saw something obscene, they would just destroy the whole roll.
Okay, so now the idea about Polaroid movie film kind of makes a little more sense. That before Tom Schultz started the band Boston, he was working for Polaroid in a department that was trying to work on applying Polaroid technology to movie film. And then videotape came along, and well, they couldn't compete with that.
Okay, yeah.
He had a side project.
and we have a Beck.
Yep.
Oh, I'm just so glad things are winding down for me. Finals next week for at Indiana State. I have to make a final, which is not going to be fun.
Okay, maid, so you can go back and report to your chickens that he's okay. I know they've been asking about him.
Chickens.
Yeah, I know the chickens have been asking. Back.
Yeah, chickens. Backyard chickens are great. They give backyards character, but they are incredibly stupid birds.
Yes,
Yeah.
they are.
Well, and for a while it got to be a fad thing, that celebrities were keeping chickens.
I do recommend chickens if you can keep them.
Yeah, but some of them were paying, like $10,000 to have a custom chicken coop built. And it's like, for that kind of money, I could build you a 2-car garage.
That's a little expensive for a chicken coop.
What, did the chickens have hot and cold running water?
Yeah, for that price, they better.
No, they were just, it got to be like a competition among celebrities of who could have the fanciest chicken coop.
Wi-Fi?
I don't know, probably. I mean, some of them definitely had solar panels.
Have any of you seen BoJack Horseman?
No, but I've heard of it.
I saw like the first season or so. I didn't see the whole thing.
Yeah, there's one episode where Todd has to try to save a chicken. And they have to explain why it's okay to eat some chickens but not others. Because because the world is filled with animals, and it's like no, this isn't a friend chicken, this is a food chicken.
Yep.
We actually do have something of a distinction in that, like the meat chickens that we have, letting them just grow and live out their old age actually could be detrimental to them.
Oh yeah, with the ones that have been bred specifically for their meat, that a lot of them get to a point they're bred just to grow as fast as possible. And a lot of them get to a point that their legs can't support their own weight.
Yeah, they have a lot of they can actually suffer if you let him keep going.
Yeah. Well, the same thing with sheep. You know, that if sheep don't get sheared every year, their wool gets so thick that it actually becomes a handicap to them. It actually starts to impede their ability to move.
But
Don't
yeah,
dairy cows also have issues like that too?
Oh yeah, I'm sure they do.
but I do recommend one watch through of BoJack Horseman just because it is an amazing show. It's
Yeah,
fun.
I have noticed the channels I follow, you know, for writing advice. You know, that it is one of the shows they often reference as far as, you know, for showing examples of good script and character development.
And it also has one of the most realistic takes on gun control I've seen. And spoilers, but the resolution for the episode is America passes gun control laws because America hates women more than it loves guns.
I could see that happening. Yeah.
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 It's called Thoughts and Prayers. I think it's in season 4.
Yeah, I know I did not see that episode. I remember the episode, you know, that he spent the whole episode in an underwater city.
Yeah, I just kind of wish all these comedies that might have actually good lines and stuff in them and didn't use such shitty animation.
Well, American animation really isn't trying to be amazing artwork for the most part.
Mhm.
Yeah, I know that's the problem with it.
I don't know. I can overlook the crappy animation as long as it's got good writing.
And most anime is just not good writing.
Yeah, anime, I tend to find a lot of plot holes come up.
Not that you can't have good writing. I mean, there are some animes with really good writing that
Yeah, there are.
translates well into English. Like the first season of Psycho-Pass was pretty good.
Well, we watched Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood, and I thought the writing in that one was pretty solid. And
Yeah.
you know, it really came up with a lot of surprises. It took a lot of turns that you didn't see coming.
I thought about learning alchemy once, but then I learned it would cost an arm and a leg.
Oh. Oh.
Can't even take credit for that one.
Is that like I'd give my right arm to be ambidextrous?
You just referenced the. I think you may need to pay a little more attention to Full Metal Alchemist.
No, that's a joke that predates Full Metal Alchemist. Yeah, but Mage has been introducing us to some good anime that has had some solid writing.
You're currently on The Executioner and Her Way of Life. We only got through the first episode, which only does an introduction, so we haven't really gotten into the meat of that one yet.
Yeah,
A lot of this.
that first episode just left me confused, so we'll have to see how it
A
all
lot of
pans
this.
out.
I was going to say, a lot of the stuff that becomes popular does become toxic masculinity, the anime.
Yeah, well, I forget what the title of what was that one of the 4 girls living in the school during the zombie apocalypse.
School Live or School Live?
Yeah, School Live.
I was going to say, there's also High School of the Dead, which.
That's
Yeah.
a different one. Yeah, that one is basically all sex stuff.
The School Life was pretty good, you know, especially that, you know, that one of the girls basically that, you know, her brain had broke, so she was not facing the reality of the zombies. She still thought she was going through normal school days.
Giving away the plots here.
Sorry.
I think there was a sci-fi movie, something like that, where it was told from the stories of the zombies, and one of them was like, is a scientist working on a cure for the zombie virus, and the cure is spread by biting people because he doesn't realize he's a zombie.
I don't think I've heard about that one. We'll have to.
Well, it's a sci-fi movie, so it wasn't good.
There was a little punky doodle short about that being a reverse zombie of someone who not only is immune to the zombies, but if they bite the zombies, they regenerate and come back to being normal people.
Oh, but you'd have to be biting like rotting people all over the place. It'd be disgusting.
Yeah. Yeah, it was just a little short thing from that comic artist Punky Doodle, which is an artist on YouTube that I wholeheartedly recommend, and really does some excellent short humor things. That there's another kind of short series, about these people who go and knock on a witch's door, and the woman opens up the door and says, "I'm not a witch, I'm just a goth girl. The real witch is the guy living across the way there smiling at you." And, he doesn't do love potions because that interferes with free will, and, she's got a number of funny things like that.
Okay, well, I am going to have to go walk Molly. If you guys are still on, we'll pop back in.
Why don't we wrap it up here? So, Mage, why don't you go ahead and tell us what you've got going? Are you going to be doing your show this weekend?
I'm actually not entirely certain. I've been having a lot of electrical problems on and off, and it's just completely random. So
yeah, I know that the last stream of yours that I was watching, that you disappeared for a few minutes.
That happened just before the show too. I was trying to get it going back up. So I might just hold off on doing shows until I get that fixed. It should be in a few weeks. I should have it fixed before Christmas at least. I'm pretty sure.
So you're gonna be on hiatus for a while.
Yeah, I just might just do that. Maybe just get some videos out onto the channel.
Mm-hmm.
Work on some other things in the meantime.
Okay.
So that's on my channel, Mage's Media Musings. Still go check it out. I'll still be adding stuff to it. I got a couple of radio broadcasts to put up, and of course I already put that link for the Amazon wish list in here. Do I still have it on here? Yes, I do. Okay, so that's my Amazon wish list for the food pantries. If anyone wants to buy anything, I'm gonna try and get up there sometime this week and deliver what I've got.
Yeah, it's a good thing that you're doing that. Yeah, unfortunately this year the food pantries are getting more people coming in than they have before.
That's what got me thinking about this in the first place.
Yeah.
It's almost as if no one understood that cutting off SNAP benefits like during November was a terrible idea.
Yeah, who could have predicted that?
Well, but even before the SNAP benefits, that
oh yeah, the tariff.
We've got like an unprecedented number of farmers declaring bankruptcy, and small businesses being shut down.
It's only unprecedented because someone needs to be unprecedented.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. That's a good one.
Athena, that is your tale.
That's basically what I've got going.
Okay.
Are you trying to show everyone your butt?
So I'm gonna head out here. So we'll see you guys later.
Yep, we'll catch you later. Okay, I'm finished. What have you been doing? You You already
Oh,
gave a bit of an update on your music project there.
Right. And also, I've been kind of slowly. I'm working on getting my channel ready for the debut of that item, and to that end, I had a couple of my socks sub to my Unfinished Journey, and checking back on it, a few days later, I noticed, hey, I've actually got 3 subs instead of just the 2, so there's like a real sub out there, and I mentioned that when I was on, I think, Detroit Atheist Queen's channel, and just saying that, all of a sudden, my sub count went from 3 up to 7. So
Nice.
if y'all want to sub to me, and you've got mod privileges, click on me and check me out. And I suspect that the first actual sub may have been Regios, because I noticed that Regios left a comment on the one short that I have on the channel.
Well, we need your the link for your other channel so that we can post that for anyone here who wants to join in.
Okay. I think I can do that.
Athena, kitty, do you need more attention from me? Was I gone too long today? Was I gone forever because you counted?
You were gone forever because she napped.
Well, of course she napped. She's a cat.
Right. And when they take a nap, they have no concept for how much time has passed. Hold on a sec. I know. I'm just wrapping it up now. Can I call you back in a few minutes? Okay, I'll call you back in a couple minutes. Okay. Sorry, I had a phone call, but I can get back to that after we finish wrapping up here. So, Purpose, what have you got going on?
All right. Well, I don't really have much going on other than trying to survive final season. And that reminds me, for the work, I need to find the movie Hidden Figures, because I think I'll show that when they don't have to take their finals. If you want to follow me on Clapper, it's Mad Computer Scientist. Just download the app, follow me over there. It's a somewhat less annoying version of TikTok, very similar. Less teenagers, less stupid trends. And we could use, I was going to say, it could use more liberals on that app and leftists, because the conservatives are really dumb and easy to mock.
Yeah.
My YouTube channels are not active right now. That might not, hopefully I can get back to them someday, but... And just remember, be excellent to each other. So long, and thanks for all the fish, and since Jenny's not here, be gay and do crimes.
Be yourself.
Yep. Think for yourself. Goodbye, everybody. We will catch you all next week. Bye.